No matter what you're doing in life, there will always be an Asian kid who's better than you. But when it comes to drumming, that Asian kid is a 50-year-old man from Denmark named Lars Ulrich. Every person in the universe seems to agree that Lars is the best drummer in the world. Well, except maybe for, I don't know, Mick White or... You know, that guy from AC/DC who plays that one beat. What's his name? But nevertheless, in this video I'm gonna teach you to play drums just like the man himself in 3 simple steps. Step 1. Riot cymbals. Everybody hates riot cymbals, and therefore you should get rid of yours, just like Lars Ulrich did. And just like I'm gonna do, I'll just put it here. Right, we'll just pretend that never happened. The truth is, there is not one single decent rock or metal drummer in the history of mankind who has ever used a riot cymbal before. Well, except maybe for Dave Lombardo, or John Bonham, Neil Peart, or Thomas Harkey, Danny Carey, Gavin Harrison, Marco Miniman, The Rev, George Colias, Mike from Dream Theater, the other Mike from Dream Theater, Derek Ruddy. Alright, there might be a few exceptions, but my point is, don't use a riot cymbal. It's just not cool. Step 2. Speed, technique, and endurance. Those are the 3 absolutely most important skills in order to play those super fast and really cool double bass drum parts. And they take a lot of practice to learn and to master. But what if you don't have time to practice that much? Or what if you just don't want to? Luckily, our man, Lars Ulrich himself, has found a perfect way to deal with this problem. And the solution is, don't play it. Well, of course you're gonna play it in the studio when you're recording your album, but the truth is that fans don't really care if musicians can actually play their music live. Your fans probably know that playing those fast double bass drum patterns is super difficult, so they will just be forgiving. I'm sure they will. What could possibly go wrong? Plus, if you're embarrassed over your lack of skill, you can always just pound the shit out of your China cymbal so no one can hear what's going on. Like this. Step 3. Alright, now we're getting into some of the more advanced stuff. You know how drummers are usually considered to be the most important member of the band because everybody usually leans towards their tempo? No? Well, you should know, because Lars Ulrich sure does. And he uses this knowledge in his ancient, secret technique known as Lars Ulriching. And when I say ancient, I mean this is really ancient stuff. Actually, I believe that scientists has traced this exact technique of playing drums all the way back to the ancient Egyptians, who I believe also called it Lars Ulriching. You know, let me check my sources real quick. Yep, checks out. The idea is that in order to be the best drummer in the world, you need to show the rest of the band that they are your bitches. And what better way to do this than to lower your own tempo at a random time and then force the rest of the band members to play in your tempo. Otherwise they will be the ones who seem out of time. If you've ever seen Metallica play live before, you've probably seen this technique in action. They'll be playing a song, everything's normal, everything's fine, nothing's out of the ordinary, and then suddenly, boom! The tempo is all over the place. Suddenly it just drops in a random place where you'd never expect it to do so. And to the untrained ear, this might just sound like shitty timing, maybe even a shitty drummer, who knows. But the thing is that this is actually a very intricate and very deliberate choice made by Lars Ulrich in order to assert his dominance as a drummer, by forcing the rest of the band to play in his tempo. And there you have it, 3 simple steps to become just like Lars Ulrich. In Denmark we have this saying that goes, "Dead men elsker tugtermænd," which basically translates into "you tease the ones you love." And I love Lars Ulrich. If it weren't for him, I probably wouldn't be playing drums, and if it weren't for Metallica, I might not even have gotten into metal at all.